only human.
Dodge this.
Lawrence Fishburne, the original Morpheus from the Matrix trilogy, recently opened up about whether he'd ever consider returning for The Matrix 5. And honestly, his answer wasn't a hard yes or no, it was more of a cautious maybe, depending on a few key factors. You see, Fishburne played a massive role in the original films as Morpheus, the wise and determined mentor who helps Neo realize he's the one. His performance was iconic, so it came as a surprise when he didn't return for 2021's The Matrix Resurrections. Instead, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II took on the role of a newer version of Morpheus, an AI-based hybrid of Morpheus and Agent Smith. When Fishburne recently appeared on The View, he was asked the question that's been on a lot of fans' minds: would he be open to returning in the upcoming Matrix 5? He replied that it would all depend on the circumstances, including who's involved in the project, how strong the script is, and, importantly, whether they even offer him the role. According to Fishburne, he did put himself out there for The Matrix Resurrections, saying he offered to come back, but they didn't respond well. His exact words were, "It depends on the circumstances, who is involved, how well the script has been written, if they offer me, because I offered my services to the fourth Matrix and they didn't respond well to that. It's not like I didn't say, oh, I'd like to offer my services. I did, and for whatever reason that didn't happen. Okay, that's the truth, so we'll see." Basically, the ball isn't entirely in his court. It depends on whether the creative team wants him back and how the new story is shaped. Speaking of that new story, The Matrix 5 is officially in development. This time around, the film will be written and directed by Drew Goddard. You might recognize his name from projects like Cloverfield, World War Z, The Martian, which scored him an Oscar nod, and The Cabin in the Woods. This marks the first Matrix film not directed or written by the Wachowskis, though Lana Wachowski is still attached as an executive producer. So while it's a shift in creative leadership, there's still a tether to the original vision. As of now, there's no confirmation on which original cast members will return. Keanu Reeves hasn't officially signed on to reprise his role as Neo, and the same goes for other major characters. Warner Brothers executive Jesse Ehrman did mention that the new film will expand the Matrix universe, but not stray too far from what fans loved about the series. So, while Fishburne was left out of Resurrections, it doesn't completely shut the door on his possible return in this next chapter. Goddard's vision might just include him, especially if the fans make enough noise. And let's be honest, he should come back. Morpheus, along with Hugo Weaving's Agent Smith, was one of the backbone characters of the original trilogy. Leaving them both out of Resurrections felt like a bold choice, maybe too bold. Their replacements, while talented, just didn't land the same way. Merging both Morpheus and Smith into a single AI character diluted the magic. So if the goal of The Matrix 5 is to bring the franchise back to its roots, having Fishburne return as Morpheus is a no-brainer. Of course, we still don't know if Matrix 5 will be a direct sequel, a prequel, or maybe even a spin-off. But whatever direction they take, it can't afford to forget what made the original trilogy special. One of the biggest criticisms of Resurrections was that it tried so hard to reinvent the wheel that it lost touch with its own identity. Fans want something fresh, yes, but they also want something familiar. The best path forward might be to acknowledge the unresolved threads and plot holes from earlier films, using them as an opportunity to bring back legacy characters and deepen the lore. Now, let's talk villains. Because if there's one thing The Matrix nailed, it was Agent Smith. Hugo Weaving brought a terrifyingly calm menace to the role that made him unforgettable. Watching Smith evolve from a basic system enforcer into a rogue program with his own philosophy was genuinely fascinating. His back and forth with Neo didn't just deliver great action, it delivered thought-provoking commentary on existence, purpose, and control. Recasting him with Jonathan Groff in Resurrections felt underwhelming. Groff did a solid job, but it lacked the weight Weaving brought to the role. Without Smith, or at least a villain of that caliber, The Matrix 5 could struggle to find a compelling antagonist. A fifth round of Neo vs. Smith probably wouldn't work unless there's a fresh twist, and at this point, another recasting isn't going to cut it. If they can't bring Weaving back, then they need to go all in on creating a brand new villain that redefines what it means to be an adversary in the Matrix world. What's interesting is that the Matrix franchise has room to grow in other formats too. With Matrix 5 on the horizon, now might also be the perfect time to revisit the Animatrix, the animated anthology from 2003. Released between Reloaded and Revolutions, the Animatrix offered a brilliant way to expand the Matrix universe without rehashing what we already knew. It told stories that ranged from humanity's fall to early Matrix anomalies, and it did it all with unique animation styles. It was a creative triumph, selling over 2.7 million copies and raking in $68 million. And let's face it, streaming has completely changed the game. With Warner Brothers heavily invested in building out content for Max, a new Animatrix project released directly to streaming could be a hit. The original didn't rely on nostalgia. It told new stories with new characters while staying rooted in the world fans loved. Imagine what a modern version could do, especially now that audiences are more open than ever to anthology formats and experimental storytelling. This approach could also inform how The Matrix 5 tackles its story. One of the big problems with Resurrections was that it was too meta and too reliant on callbacks. It spent more time commenting on itself than building something new. Instead of blazing a new trail, it replayed greatest hits. Neo touching mirrors, office agents chasing him, another leap of faith on a rooftop. Fans wanted evolution, not repetition. That's where the Animatrix got it right. It didn't try to copy what came before, it explored new territory within the same universe. Matrix 5 needs to take that same lesson to heart. Whether or not it brings back Neo, Morpheus, or Agent Smith, it should focus on ideas and characters that move the franchise forward, not keep it spinning in place. So, where does that leave us? Well, The Matrix 5 has a lot riding on it. With Drew Goddard at the helm, there's hope for a fresh direction that still honors what came before. If Lawrence Fishburne is offered the chance to return, and if the story is strong, it would be a huge win for fans. Bringing back Morpheus could bridge the gap between old and new in a way that feels both respectful and exciting. At the same time, expanding the universe with something like a new Animatrix could complement the live-action film and breathe new life into the franchise as a whole. There's a rich digital world out there just waiting to be explored again, whether it's through classic characters, new faces, or unexplored timelines. And if Warner Brothers plays their cards right, The Matrix could once again be the franchise that redefines what science fiction looks like on screen. And that wraps up today's video. If you want to stay in the loop with all the latest movie and series news, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give us a big thumbs up, because I'll be bringing you more updates on upcoming movies before they even drop, so keep an eye out for that, along with the latest on your other favorite shows and movies. Stay tuned and I'll see you on the next one.